is Tuesday, day 3 of our hunt. Bryce and I decided to go to a whole new area. We found that lake that we showed you, which we knew was there, we just had never hiked it before. We heard about this legendary canyon where the elk like to stay during the day, so we're hiking to it, at least where we believe it's at. But look at this view though. Pretty amazing. This may turn into more bow hiking than anything, but if we get up here and we can find sign of elk, then it will all be worth it, until we put one down and have to pack it out. I think we're already 5 miles in, 4 or 5. Well, as you can see, there's plenty of water up here. We're gonna sit here for a couple hours and see if anything comes in for a late morning drink. Bryce is right over there. Tree stands tonight. Wish us luck.
Alrighty, so as you can see, it is the end of the day. We are headed out down the trail. It was another quiet night. A little frustrating because we know the animals are here, they're just not coming in. I don't know if it's because of all the rain that we've had and the water's just plentiful right now. Brandon did get a couple of does come in on him, and he also about stepped on a porcupine, so he at least got to see some wildlife other than squirrels and birds. That's what I saw. So, but it's still fun to be out here enjoying the mountains. Just getting to be away and just relax and regroup, and we'll come again tomorrow, and hopefully we have success. So yeah, see y'all tomorrow.
Well, it is day 4, and we decided to explore some area we've never been in. Surprise, surprise. We came clear to the top. Well, Bryce and I have been up here pushing the tops of these mountains. So far today, I think we've seen 17 doe and 2 bucks. One was a small 2-point, barely forked, just enough to call it a 2-point. And then I was gonna make a push for Bryce, and instead he pushed a 4-point into me. It was about 70 yards and it was on the move. I had an arrow notched and was following it, waiting for it to just stop and turn and look back at him. And every time he'd stop, he'd look and then he'd move again. So I put the stock on him for about a half hour and never could find where he slipped through the trees at. But we're going to keep hitting this range a little bit, and hopefully bump that 4-point out again. It's not an elk, but beggars can't be choosers, right? Look at this view. Isn't this amazing? But we're clear up here on the top, so the good thing is you can only go down from here.
Hey everybody, we're just up here on the mountaintops hiking around, seeing what we can see, and it's been a pretty productive day. I don't know if Brandon's already told you this or not, but we've seen 17 doe, 3 bucks. We saw a really small 2-point. Brandon, I jumped out a 4-point that Brandon wasn't able to get a shot on. It was about 70 yards away. But we went up on the hillside, just in the pines, and just kind of settled down and watched. I just went down just below a game trail. You could tell the deer had been through there a bunch, and so I just hunkered down in some pines and was sitting there, and lo and behold, I see some movement out of the corner of my eye, and along comes this 3-point. And it wasn't a big 3-point, but it was still 3-point. It was already hard horned. I know some of the other ones we've seen come out of up here have still been in velvet, but this one was past that point, and so it got to be about 40 yards out. It's a fairly dense area, but where I was sitting, I had some trees in the way, and I was just sitting there waiting, had my arrow knocked, and I was downwind of it. And so I'm sitting there just waiting, and it's coming across the trail to where it would have been about a 20-yard shot for me. And as usual, I had a nice squirrel off to my right, about 10 yards, just barking away and making a bunch of noise, and the deer. And I stopped at that 40-yard point and kind of sat for probably 4 or 5 minutes. And so I just sat there waiting, and then started coming forward, and as it started to come out of the trees a little bit, that squirrel started barking again. And so it stopped there and waited a little bit, and instead of stepping out, it turned and ran the other way. So it was close. That was a nice, good, close encounter. Would have been a really good encounter if I'd been able to get an arrow away, but that wasn't the case. So anyhow, we'll keep on keeping on, and I'll keep dragging Brandon around the mountaintops and see what we can find.
Today is day 5 of the hunt. I've had a lot of time to think about where to hunt today due to the fact I'm hunting alone. And I kind of thought if I have a chance of getting something, it's probably better to get a deer than put down an elk, since I'm packing it out by myself. Bryce will be up later today after he gets off work, and tomorrow we'll go and try and get the elk. Even though we haven't had any success in this trip so far, we are only 5 days into it, and who wants to end the hunt on the first day? We've sure got to see a lot of beautiful country, areas I've never been in before, and what a blessing that has been. And had I harvested on the first day, I wouldn't have seen any of it. But it's time to put an animal down, so wish me luck. Maybe I can see that 4-point that I saw the other day. We're on top of a mountain again, and Bryce isn't even here to bring me up here. Maybe it's me all along, and I was using Bryce as the excuse. Let's go kill a buck. All right, gotta climb this bad boy now. So once I'm on top, it's pretty level where I'm headed. Well, does it get any more awesome than this? Just incredible. Look at this area. Just gonna sit up here and glass for a little bit. See if I can see anything on these hills. Only bad part is if you shoot something down there, you gotta pack it out. Well, it is almost 8 o'clock, and I've got about 1.5 mile hike to get to my four-wheeler. And you won't be able to see it, but right down there is a buck. It's that little 2-point that we saw the other day. He barely forks, so he's probably really a spike, but he just started to split. Not even worth going after. So he lives another day at least. Maybe some other hunter will want him, but there's not enough meat on him to fill the vegetable tray on the refrigerator, so I'm not interested in them. When I get back to my four-wheeler, go down and see if Bryce made it to camp. Hopefully tomorrow will be a great day. See you then.